Man, what's up, everybody? Man, we back in the building. Throw the Towel Sports Podcast is yours truly, Captain Great. My man next to me, Ace Juice. My brother down there, King James. And y'all see, we have another house guest. Yes, by the name of Big Whiskey, Jared Cricky. Star appearance in Wrestlers, the Netflix series. Also getting ready to appear in Queen of the Ring
hmm
as Gypsy Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome him to the show.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Let's do it.
Clap.
Clap for me.
Come on
Clap
now.
for me.
All right,
Come
that's
on
right.
now. Y'all see this, man. Welcome to the floor, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Kripke,
What up? What
welcome to the
up?
show, man. Glad to have you.
Going?
How you doing, man? Everything good with you?
Yes, sir. Things are going good. Things are going good. Different show every weekend, different town every week. I'm some multiple towns, multiple states a weekend. It's been a blast this year already, and it's only February.
Yeah, right. It's definitely starting off drastic and heavy in the beginning this year, and I'm never like surprised, but at the same time, it's always happening like that, man. You never know what's gonna come to
Mhm.
you when you're moving on. Uh, we're gonna get right into it, man.
Right on.
So take us back. What's the journey of this whole wrestling life that you chose to push
Yeah.
as far
So,
as the career, if anything.
so it's like so I started out like wrestling around at the School of Rock, Billy Rock's training school.
Okay.
I was the same year as Mance Warner. He just made it on TNA.
For those
Uh,
that don't know, where is it located?
Lafayette, Indiana. Lafayette, yeah,
Lafayette.
right by
Okay.
Purdue, basically. So boiler
Shout
up.
out to the hometown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho was a couple years before me. So I got to learn a lot from Billy Rock. He was the king of Indiana before he retired. To me he still is. So even though I'm a queen of the ring, I thought maybe I might be able to maybe I'll start calling myself the king of the ring, but
Ooh.
or king of Indiana. But how about just the drink king of Indiana? It's close enough.
The drink
The
king
drink king.
of
Trademark.
I like
Indiana.
Nobody
that.
steal it.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right,
But
so man, when I'm watching you, bro, I don't want to tag any influences on you, but when I'm watching you, your character is very surreal to what you're doing, and it's kind of easy to flow commentating with you because you playing a part. What was that influence and that kind of gave you that spark? Because you got that Sami Zayn look going on, with a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Like, what made you hit them kind of marks right there?
so like and this is one of the questions get asked a lot is like what were your like who do you love watching when you were a kid? Like
Yeah,
and for me it was always Jeff Hardy, Mick Foley, Shawn Michaels. Uh,
Yes.
like so like if you think about those guys, you watch their stuff back, they it all everything like you said everything kind of flowed together. It never seemed
yeah.
like they were setting up for a spot or they were getting ready to hit their cues. They had to get this in. They were reacting. They knew 100% who they were. Like Mick Foley, he knew what he looked like. He knew what he had to do to get the respect of the fans.
Hmm.
And he didn't. There was no acting there. There was no. So Jeff Hardy, he had nothing planned. He was just doing whatever he felt like.
Oh yeah.
And then
Hey,
Shawn
now
Michaels,
Jeff, dude, he was dope.
I
yes,
truly
dude.
believe that about Jeff. Like watching him wrestle, I felt like he was just, I'm gonna do what I feel like doing, and it's gonna flow.
hmm
And I loved it.
A lot of
Right.
that has to do with like confidence, like not necessarily like I'm the best, I'm the champ. It's like I know who I am. Like so, for me, I know who Big Whiskey is. Like once I figured out, the name, but then once I figured that out, like what to call it, basically, it just clicked.
Right.
Now when I go out there, I ain't trying to get this move in. I'm not trying to do this. I'm gonna have a Jared Kripke match every single time, and it's gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be a little like you said, you called it surreal. Like it does it's gonna look real because I know I gotta, and like that Mick Foley thing, I gotta earn that respect. Like I know I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not necessarily a body guy. I'm in shape, and I got muscles. But when you're looking like when I was on OVW, you know, I definitely stood out. Not necessarily for the right reasons, but I
Well, I
stood
mean, when
out.
you're on there, when you're going up against, Mr. Spectacular, those,
Right.
that's big shoes to fill.
That's kind of what like that's where I kind of figured it out. The Rock called himself the people's champ, but like I
Yeah.
look at some I know what I look like. Like I know you might be like you pull a guy out of the crowd. I look a lot like one of the a lot of the fans. So a lot of the fans they latch on to me. They I'm being loud about what I'm doing. I'm gonna do this. I'm cocky sometimes, like you said, clap for me. But the fans love that because they want to be the one in the ring doing what I'm doing. They want and they see somebody that looks like them doing it. So like that's how I get such strong reactions and I get I walk into a place and I instantly got a roster spot, like that kind of stuff. Like I'm not just like a lot of all the other indie guys wearing the same gear, doing the same things, having the same match. Like every
Yeah.
match is gonna be a big whiskey Jared Kripke match. I look different than everybody else gear wise. Like I have really professional gear,
You
but
gotta look. I mean, you
No,
look
yeah,
like
you
Big
definitely got
Whiskey,
it.
and everything fits from the way you move, from everything fits. You are Big Whiskey, and it's
exactly,
like when you say Big Whiskey, you are Big
yeah.
Whiskey, and
Yeah.
that's a talent. Um, how
Yeah.
long have you been wrestling?
That's ooh, what year is it? I think this is my 10th year this year. Yeah, so I
Okay.
feel like I can officially call myself a vet, a wrestling vet.
Oh yeah.
So
Mm,
you remember
everybody,
your first match?
yeah, what?
You remember your first match?
Yeah, yeah, that was the Lafayette Theater here in town. I was super proud of that because it wasn't just in like an armory or a school gym. It was at the Lafayette Theater where people perform like real comedians, real bands. So we were up in the green room, like where all the bands and comedians say that was our locker room. Like I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah.
And the School of Rock, we trained for about I think it was 11 months, and really hot, really cold, depending on the weather. It wasn't a weathered storage unit. Like it was two storage units, no wall in the middle, so it was enough to fit a ring in. And we would just train for hours and hours every week
Right.
for months. We finally get to the end. The big payoff is the we get a match in front of a crowd. So it was a School of Rock show, Ring of Champions, we want to call it ROC, and that was Billy's last
Okay.
name. Ring of Champions show. I wrestled Scotty Young. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
I
Shout
great
out
just
guy.
I
Scott
just passed
Young.
that match. I just passed that match to watch you and Van Garza or Van Gaza.
Oh gosh.
It was probably like you said. It was about like a year ago, I think.
Oh no. I
It's probably 30 matches too long ago, right?
yeah,
Your
I
We're
face say
wrestling
like
every
who?
weekend, brother.
First of all, let me tell you, he probably's not saying that guy's name right.
I'm not. I'm probably not. It's probably chopping style. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But
If I saw
you
the
know,
video, I'd recognize it, and I'd probably even be able to remember a couple things that happened. Like
right,
that's like I don't forget my matches. It's just I may not know their names, like the ring names. Um, that's the other thing. Everybody in wrestling has 4 or 5 names. Like I'm Jared, I'm Kripke,
right.
I'm brother. Like it's
I
it,
mean, so okay, so we kind of you kind of exposing something to us right there. You know that a couple characters never seen them anywhere. But we always done seen you as Big Whiskey or Jared
and
Kripke. Uh, WPW, matter of fact, it's probably one of them characters that's over there. You got the most prestige joint in there, the heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what do it mean to you? And like, did anybody see that coming as far as you grabbing it?
Wait. Before you answer that, I was there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let him tell y'all what he's gonna tell y'all. But as a fan, amazing. And you need to go online and watch Riot 4 right now. I'm telling you.
Well, not right now. After our show,
Well,
Yeah,
go,
like,
go.
you know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
talking
yeah.
about. Don't
it's on
don't be a
Iconic
dick.
Wrestling. You can look up JB versus Jared Kripke. It's give it a million views. It deserves it. Like we
So
gave up
Most definitely.
everything in that
so
match.
that amazing match,
Mhm.
like Cap was saying, tell us about it.
So my journey at WPW was the company kind of it started up right around the time that I was doing some movie like the Netflix documentary. And then that's right when my daughter was being born. Like we had the gender reveal for my daughter live on OVW TV. Like Al Snow came on out with my fiance Victoria and our daughter McKenna, and so
Okay.
I got to find that out. So I had to figure out what am I going to do with my career? How do I keep everything going? And still be a great dad. Like I didn't want to be like the wrestler dads of the past. Like I wanted to be there. So Warriors, for the first not able, sorry, I'm a long story. For the first like 7 years of my career, I never wrestled within an hour of where I live, except for maybe one company here or there. I wanted to be I wanted to be seen as the traveling guy. Like I didn't want to be the local guy. Like
Right.
so I wanted that respect of being like to be a pro wrestler. You had to travel more than 45 miles, that kind of stuff. So when Warriors started up, I got to thinking, I'm like, well, I have no all my legacy. Like if I had to retire or something, my legacy is in Louisville, my legacy's in South Bend, my legacy's in Ohio. Like I needed something in the Indianapolis area, and I saw
Right.
WPW starting up, Buck Sexton. I instantly as soon as I saw the production value and stuff he had bringing, that's what a lot of Indianapolis area was missing, like with some good production. So, he's got a great ring. It's literally a Jerry Lawler ring, like from the '80s. It's you see these scars that oh, it's hard to see, but yeah, those are from that ring.
That's that.
Um,
That's that good old fashioned ring right there.
yeah, where the beams are round instead of square.
Got
So
some seasoning to it.
yeah.
Right.
So when he's starting a company and he's not just buying a ring off of high spots or something, when he's starting it with a ring from Jerry Lawler, the history of that fascinated me. I saw the production value that fascinated me. So I started out there. Well, for about 2.5 years, I'll say we'll round up. Everything's stretch it a little bit, make it bigger. But is it like 2.5, 3 years? I didn't win one match. I was a good guy. I was sucking up to the fans, like high fiving babies, shaking hands, all that. Um, one of my biggest, and I was losing every single match. But I like match of the night, biggest reaction. Everybody, not no diss on anybody else, but besides like one person maybe, biggest reaction of the night. Um, it did so to finally get recognized after 2.5 years to get a chance because I never got a shot at the
Yeah.
title. Uh, once they finally once I kind of stopped caring about getting the claps and the high fives, all that, and I started just showing them who I am, started tell them why they should clap for me. Maybe drank a little too much. Got a little angry there in the ring. Started
Yeah.
earning some respect from the fans, and when I won the Warrior Pride title, the mid card title, there it wasn't booze. There should have been booze, but it was all cheers, and so that was one of those like Mick Foley moments. Like I earned their respect.
Right.
Yeah.
I
It's
finally got
crazy you say that because that's fresh in my mind right now. I just watched like the Mick Foley Triple H moment where he had his moment to, go out like he wanted to. So yeah, I hear you on that.
Exactly. So like I finally got the shot at the heavyweight title, and it was against Jay Beeve. Great guy, love
Man,
him, but he was
hell of a
standing.
wrestler too.
What?
Said he was a hell of a wrestler at that moment.
Exactly, exactly. So like, I'm not the kind of guy that'll like take pictures with my opponents and be like, "This guy's so tough." That's a little cheesy. But I will say he was, he's a great guy, great wrestler. He was a good
Yeah,
champion. But my time was then, my time's now. So he was in my
say
way.
that.
Say it
He's got
like you
Say
say it.
that.
You kicked his ass, man. I was there. I seen it, man. He got a cheap shot when you went to get the trash can and he thought he was slick and he tried to kick the trash can lid in your face, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
that's this scar. No. Dude, that was the speed of that drop kick. Like there's so many parts of that match that I like will stick with me for like a long time. But when he hit that
Yeah.
drop kick, just the speed of it, dude. Like I was just on the ground all of a sudden trying to figure out how that happened.
You're
And then
talking about you going out there and being you, man, and you're working the crowd and everything. Well, a little kid kicked you in the nuts, did he not?
so
Right.
I'm walking. I'm
what was
trying to get
that?
away from Beeve, getting through the crowd, and all of a
Hey, he
sudden I'm
kicked it
pushed
right
on my
in the
butt
nuts.
by like an old lady. Like no offense, yeah, but it was like an older lady just pushed me over a chair. You can't even see that on camera, but she pushed me on over, and then while I'm down on the ground, a kid comes over, kicks me in the stomach.
A
So
cheap shot.
Craziness.
J
Hey,
Beeve's
it was
like, all
legal.
right,
It was legal, I guess. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Anything goes, I guess. You just
it
get to
was
use a
no
kid
DQ.
as a weapon.
Dude, JB was like, "All right, well, this kid wants to get involved, so he's got my arms locked in. He's telling him to chop me. He's literally slapping
Yeah,
my
it's
chest.
like give him your best shot.
Kid winds up and penalty kick right in the nads, dude. Like
Oh man, that's funny, man.
crowd interaction, like
Dangerous and funny at the same time. Hey, look, it's like
I was cracking
no.
up when I saw that. I was like, damn, dude.
yeah,
Right.
dude, that's
Man,
Let
like
him know
that
how
I
you
that
wanted
shit
feel.
I just
viral.
want you to know Whiskey's my guy. I wanted to kick that little kid's ass, man.
Yep. His dad made him apologize after the show, so we still got good manners here, but
In the
Right.
moment
yeah.
though, where you just like that little son of a bitch, where you're like, damn, really? You
Yeah.
know?
Hey, that kid better go back to season 2. Cause I kick little kids' asses too. You know
Look.
what I mean? I tell you what,
I'm getting my
kickball.
revenge next month. Oh, no, I'm not. Dang it.
No
One of these days I'm
discrimination.
gonna have to face Buck's kid. I want him in a one-on-one. He just made his debut.
And young lion, young Simba.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna get my revenge on
Shout
him.
out young Simba, man.
Shout out Young Simba. Young Simba
Yeah.
took a lot of people
Hold
out
on,
of
wait.
the
He did
riot.
throw y'all out
He
in
threw a lot
the
of people
riot,
out of that
huh?
riot, man. He got a few people out. I think he
Hey,
got
yeah,
his
he
dad
came right
out
in there
too.
and went to work, dude. He looked a little bit like Roman Reigns throwing people out when he came in the ring for the Rumble, dude. He was going crazy.
Yeah, he don't need to be made strong. He's already strong. Yeah,
No,
that though, man, it was like a big payoff of a little bit of like what what that title has meant to me after now that it's all soaked in and I've iced up my bones a little bit. Like now that that's kind of
right.
now that I'm looking at the title and seeing like what does it mean to me, like getting that validation, like I
Yeah.
I I am recognized in my area, like this is my town. You think of Indianapolis, the world, Royal Rumble, if they show up again for WrestleMania, they're gonna think of Big Whiskey, as an Indianapolis guy now.
No, that's
Say
right.
that. Say that.
That and then
Like that. I love the confidence. And like man, we fans over here. I don't know too much about Ace. Man, just to let you know right now, this is the Buck Sexton's
oh yeah,
secretary. You know what I'm saying?
assistant to the
This
manager.
guy. You know
I
what I'm
told you earlier, I
saying?
prefer if you just call him Mr. Buck, but
But this is YouTube manager over here. You know what I'm saying? Usually when he need him, he just, hey, Ace, man, go in there and drop some
So
gems for me.
I just
I,
call him
I,
boss. You
I
know.
gotta know before we jump all the way into whiskey, I gotta know, um, is there, including WWE, ECW, whatever, out there? whatever it is. Hell, you can go back to WCW if you want to. But is there a dream match for you where you would say, you know what, I would love for Big Whiskey to go against?
See, that's one of those questions that it's so hard because, like, I can give the generic answers, like, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, like, I mean, I feel like
What
Mister
if you had to include yourself?
what'd you say?
What if you had to include yourself, knowing that you in the
I'll wrestle
profession
myself,
now?
yeah. That
I've
would
seen
be a
somebody do
5-star
that on YouTube
That'd
before.
be crazy.
But who
match.
would get the most claps?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Uh,
Ooh, which
if,
whiskey
you're-
would
if
drink the
you want,
most, huh?
yeah, well, they may beat me. They can't outdrink me. That's all that matters. Yeah.
So
But
how did you happen to link up with um OVW and the wrestlers?
okay. Well,
Netflix.
let me answer for the first question though, just
Right,
because
right,
I
yeah.
don't want
Okay,
to brush past it because it is a good one. I
sure.
just but like anybody from the past like Rob Van Dam, like I feel
Ooh,
like if I had a match with RVD, even modern day
ooh.
you know,
Mr. Main Event.
yeah, because that's who I did that. It's just a name,
Yeah.
like
And then the pinky, you just add the
yeah,
pinky
it's all
to it.
different. Clap for me.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was a big inspiration because he didn't look like anybody else. I had the undercut for
Right.
a solid 6 or 7 years. I just to give like a not like not Mount Rushmore answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect,
my
Dolph
man.
Ziggler, and crap, who did I just say? RVD. Those would be my dream opponents, and them in their prime, me in my prime. A good stage.
You
Right.
know who I would love to see Big Whiskey wrestle?
Who?
Ravishing Rick Rude.
The stash, dude. We'd have a stash off. He wouldn't be able to compete, man. Like I trimmed a couple inches off, but normally these wings are flying, man.
Man, Rick Rude was one of them ones, man. Definitely
It's
classic.
just the build up to that fight right there to me would be like amazing.
Hmm.
Just yeah,
He'd be
yeah.
insulting my size and my body and all that, and I'd just be insulting his criminal record. Like I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying, yeah.
So we gonna come back to I'm gonna come back to WPW. I want to
Mhm.
get a little bit of information about this BMFX title.
Oh man,
Oh
that's
yeah,
What's
yeah.
the what is that
so
about, and why is it so unique? Why has it got that unique name?
yeah, the BMFX Grand All Invitational Champion.
Right.
So I've had to wrestle everybody for that title. This is the Lafayette. This is the company, the biggest wrestling company in Lafayette. We bring in we have a show every month. We bring in some great names like Gigi Jacobs. He's our. This is another fun to name. The BMFX Interstate Hoosier Weight Champion. So yeah,
That's hard.
yeah. We call
That's
Yeah,
hard.
that's hard.
Loser weight. I love
Yeah,
it.
when
I
I was
like
we
that.
called it the I-65 title because I-65 goes from Canada straight down to Tennessee.
Right.
It's a good little interstate title. But
Wow.
so we bring in some the best roster you can ask for in the Midwest. The Grand All Invitational title, it's open to gender, open to weight class, it's open to anything, whatever you want. So let's see, I when I first won the title was from Nate Matthews, and he is an insane specimen, dude. Like athlete, basically the second coming of Bret Hart. Like he is insane.
Nice.
So everything.
And
Great.
that's huge. That's a huge compliment, man.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This last time, this is my second time with the title. I beat Thunder Kitty, the hundred and I think she had a birthday, 104-year-old lady rep.
That's a chick, or is that a guy?
Oh, that's a woman right there, man. That's a woman. Yeah,
Look,
Thunder,
he said a woman.
dude. She'll kick your butt. Frying pan, whatever she needs. Like she is. Yeah, she was tough. So, um, yeah, we if you look at we got a new titles made this past year. They surprised me. On one side's Thunder Kitty, and on the other side's me. So that like and that shows you this company like that level of respect, that level of like I didn't ask for that like that
Right.
level of respect like I show that same respect back. So
Facts.
um I've
Wow, that
got
sounds like some high level competition, man.
Yeah.
that's just starting, man. Like we brought in Matt Taven right before he got re-signed Ring of Honor and AEW.
Hmm.
I faced Matt Taven for that title, and whew, that was a tough one. I thought my chops were bad, but dude, I was bruised. But Matt Taven, I learned a lot from that match. A lot behind the scenes from him. That was a great experience, and I hope he's. Whenever I go to an AEW show, he always, we recognize, give him the head nod. We'll talk, we catch up for a little bit, and and another person we brought in was Michael Elgin. And then Michael Elgin came in. He's been kind of having a resurgence of his career the past year or so, and he's still going strong. New Japan, Ring of Honor. I grew up watching Michael Elgin kick people's butts, and he
What name does he go under?
Michael Elgin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Is
a
that his
ELG.
government name or is that just a name he put together?
That's his working name. We're at
That's
work
his
here.
work name.
Exactly.
No, but that's
His government work issue name. We gonna just put it like that.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said earlier, everybody has 4 or 5 names. So
Right.
if you introduce yourself to me as the Undertaker, I'm not going to call you Mark. You're the Undertaker until the day I die. That's
I don't have the heart to call him Mark.
no,
It's no.
no.
You got anybody that you want to defend that belt with, or you see yourself going against to defend it against in
Well,
BMFX?
let's see. So no, sorry. So like we brought in, like I said, Matt Taven, Michael Elgin. I got to team up with Buff Bagwell.
Oh, hell
We
yeah.
got
Okay.
Buff!
Yeah, we brought him in. He got beat down by Jeremy Hadley, Josh Morris. So I come making a save. And well, of course, we come on out to the NWO theme. I got him rocking, Jimi Hendrix. It was great, dude. Like, so that was a great experience. And so now that was kind of one of those eye openers where it's like, okay, I could defend this title against anybody.
Right.
I think right now, like currently in my head, I'm thinking Nick Nemeth. you
Okay.
know, Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. That's something that's my dream match. He's the reason I got in shape. Uh, Jerry Lawler said that, JR, how do you get a physique like that? He must do 1,000 push-ups a day or 1,000 sit-ups a day. I could do 1,000 sit-ups even when I was chubby. So I just, during the commercial break, I would just do 1,000 sit-ups during Monday Night Raw. Man, got me in shape. So that'd be like a full circle moment.
Right.
Another one is Shannon Moore. Like I met him a few years ago. That dude is jacked. He would be a real test, a real great test, and plus he needs his name shown a lot more respect out there. Shannon Moore would be a great person to bring in for
I think
BMFX.
I remember him. He had some contracts with a few big people
Yeah,
some years back. For real. I definitely remember Shannon Moore.
WWE, TNA,
Yeah. Yeah.
did it all. Yeah.
Almost I want to say around them Shelton Benjamin times when all of them was wrestling around that time with a WWE still.
Yeah, he was the guy that had the mohawk that was like taller than he was, and he was, like he looks like 2 Shannon Moores now. If you see him nowadays, he is jacked. So and he still do all the stuff he used to do, and he was an Omega guy. So that would be
Okay.
North
Yeah,
Carolina, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy.
yeah, yeah.
It,
Right.
people, you don't. The list doesn't stop there. It goes, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, Shannon Moore, Gregory. I think Gregory Helms. Like, those are the boys. Like you know, his name needs to be included in that list. And I feel like a good match for that, for a BMFX title in Lafayette would be a great idea.
Oh,
That's my dream. I'll make it happen one day.
oh, it's out there now.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got to find it in the algorithms now.
It's out there
It'll be
now.
clipped up. We'll clip it up for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ace,
hope.
man, what you got, man? You got something on the palate to add whiskey, man?
Yeah.
Actually, as a matter of fact, I do.
What you got?
So, Big Whiskey, what is Big Whiskey's preferred whiskey?
Jameson.
Do you have a specific like go-to?
Jameson. Yeah, I love me some
See,
Jameson, man.
Go
that's why I like
Irish.
him. See, I'm allowed
Yeah,
to like more than one person. I like this guy.
dude.
Yeah.
Jameson, Crown Royal apple. I'm not big on the flavors, but the Crown Royal apple, like
Hey,
I like.
we got
Wow.
a drink. We got a drink that we got to introduce you to. Snapple Apple Crown.
Apple
If you mix a
crown.
Snapple apple with the crown, you won't go wrong. I'm telling you.
Okay,
Never.
I'll try
You
it
just
out.
take that, just put that in your notes.
None of that
Whiskey.
fake fireball stuff. Like they
Or
can
put
they
that
can
in your flask. Let me say
I'll try it, dude. It'll be a fun match.
that.
I always take a few swigs going out to the get my entrance. So.
Yeah. So taking the swig, blowing it out. Like, how long? Where did that come from? Is that just it just happened?
So, if we're like, how do I say it? It actually just happened naturally. Like it just seemed like the right thing to do. Take a swig of my flask. Oh my gosh, this is too much. Get it up there. Get in, gets your body wet, gets you ready. Kind of is mainly I'm going for that. I'm going for that. What's it called? Like that kick. So it gets me
Right.
angry. So I get out there, got that kick. I'm angry. I don't want to be I don't want to be like Master Roshi drunk boxing,
Yeah.
I want to be still have my wits about me. So I spit
Right.
it all out. And then if I'm in a bad mood that day, I'll get the cheapest bottle from the town I'm in, and then it makes, this tastes like crap. Oh, this is your
And
guys'
you,
best. Spit it on the crowd. The front row always gets a splash zone. So
yeah.
gets me angry at my opponent, gets me angry at the town I'm in, gets me in the right headspace to kick some butt. Like I've always said, Big Whiskey's the guy that if you got the right day, right alcohol, I'm the kind of guy you want to have a drink with. I'm play some euchre, we can have some fun, but I'm not the kind of guy you want in a bar fight. You don't want to be fighting me. Yeah, you don't want to spill my drink. You don't want to bump into me.
We trying to be on the
I
good
feel like
side
you
of
and me
Big
would be in
Whiskey.
prison together.
We trying to be on Big Whiskey team.
Hey,
You know
don't
what I
meet your
mean? We're not
heroes,
here
folks.
to.
Things could go bad.
Yeah, like I said, Jameson, Crown Royal.
All right,
Yeah.
so we on to the good stuff, man. Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
wrestlers, uh,
Like he was
hell of a
asking.
show,
Like, oh,
hell of a show, by the way, hell of a series, and you definitely was in like some key moments in there.
I couldn't
Glad you
turn
got
it
that.
off. It was
Huh?
it was I couldn't turn it off. I started
Yeah,
watching it
I got
and
stuck.
yeah,
I got
that
stuck,
that's
and plus I'm a wrestling head at
yeah.
heart.
And
You know.
the jewels, it was so many jewels being dropped in there.
Hmm.
It was,
I love that they would show like some of the behind the scenes stuff, like like Al Snow talking like we want to make this happen today and all that, or you'd
Yeah,
have like Haley and her mom kind of being like
like
acting
it's
at,
like they into it, but they not into it. But it's
but
like
but then it would
but
cut
there's
like
some real tension there.
but then it
yeah,
would cut to them in the match doing what they talked about or this that or the other.
facts.
Dude, that production was amazing. Like Greg Whiteley, I believe is how you pronounce it. He was the creator, the director.
Yeah.
He used to work. He did Cheer, I believe it was on Netflix, and got a great response from that. And okay, so while this is in my head, I just gotta say, OVW with wrestlers on there was the first pro wrestling on there, and then what is it? A couple
On
years later.
Netflix,
Yeah, and then
that's
a couple years
fire,
later, WWE comes shopping,
fire.
and then our sponsor, for the Netflix tour, it was the Davis and Davis tour. Well, now you can't turn on Monday Night Raw without a Davis and Davis commercial because they're sponsoring Raw now. So it may not be an official like back in the day. OVW was the developmental, the
They
feeder
still,
program.
and
It
I was
it
gonna
still
touch on
is.
that
They just
later.
don't know it.
Yeah, I
Right.
was gonna touch on that later, but I
Mm.
was like, wow, they are still. I I don't want to say paving the way, but it's kind of like
Yeah.
you can't have the success and everything WWE has without OVW.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
Like
yeah.
it's
So
wild.
getting to OVW, dude, like that was one of those dreams come true. Like
Hmm.
like I said, I never wanted to be like the local indie guy. I wanted to be a respected professional wrestler. And so when I got my opportunity at OVW, dude, like I grabbed it, I ran with it, and I just ran until I ran it dry. My last
How did
little
that
bit.
happen? How did that happen?
Um, so I was wrestling a show in front of 12 people. Indie wrestling, yeah. But it was literally like just the people. I was wrestling for the like two fans and then people's family.
Right.
But the kid I was wrestling, he was just so excited and wanted to have a great match. He I didn't have like a name notoriety or nothing, but he knew me and he knew that we could have a good match. And so he wanted to go all out. And I'm the kind of guy where I wrestle the same if I'm in front of 5,000 or five. So that was one of those
Right.
five moments. But we went out there, had
Huge.
like a 15-minute championship match. I got put in a trash can, fed a hot dog. Like it was, you know, we we got the crowd
What?
involved. You
And
So,
now
if
they
I may,
feeding
how
hot
often do
dogs.
you
That's
get
just the
put in
weapon,
trash
though. Just
cans?
I get put in a trash can about every week. Like it's.
Okay.
I don't
so
ask
that's a
for it. I'm nowhere
ritual.
even near it. But somehow I'm a magnet. I don't know. But, but that was one
Hey,
of those
that's
matches
funny,
where
man.
they had the right eyes on it. Southern Discomfort, one of the legendary tag teams from OVW. Snake Williams and Jebediah Blackhawk. They both been there, especially Jeb since the start. He is bleeds OVW. Uh,
Jebediah Blackheart.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jebediah. Yeah,
yeah.
Snake Williams.
Jebediah.
They were there, and I didn't ask them to watch my match. I should have, but they did. And well, they saw the performance I put on. They had a match coming up at OVW. They're like, hey, let's bring this kid in for a
He can
tryout.
work. Right.
Yeah. So I show up for that tryout, and I knew one of the agents from my time on the Indies. And so I got snagged from the dark match onto a TV match. And I had a TV match against one of the guys that was just about to win a title. Like I think a week later, he won the Rush Division title. I went out there, gave him my all, 8 or 9 minutes. Got showed him what Big Whiskey was about before even that was my name. Just before I showed him what Kripke was about. And
Yeah, that's what they call
like
you.
I said, and it lasted me about 3 years of that, man. It was a good run. But that's how I basically I just you always wrestle as if you're getting scouted because WWE, NXT, like I had a WWE tryout and they said that they do watch the indies. They have people that literally are there to just watch and scout people. So if anything that's posted online could be a potential tryout match, technically in their eyes. So
Right.
I wrestle every match as if it's, you know, and the right eyes were on that one. The boys had my back, and yeah, the crowd, that was the big part of it. The staying power there was the crowd. Um, that's where I kind of learned my like people's champ kind of thing, and kind of honed that.
Okay.
And then the Netflix thing, how that came about. So a lot of the guys that are high up there in OVW, they live in Louisville. So I didn't move there until we were filming.
So you
So
were driving.
yeah, I would get off work at 1 in the afternoon. I drive 3 hours to Louisville, get there by call time at 4. Show starts at 6, 3 hours, and then I'd be back on the road by about 1 in the morning, and get home between 1 and 4, go to work on Friday. That was my life for over three
That's a
years.
real
Like
grind, man.
That's a
it,
hustle. Gotta get.
it was, and I wouldn't change a thing, man. It was a blast, and I'd still be doing it. I just had my daughter, so she's a little older now, and um, Sorry, I'll get to the Netflix thing, I promise. But I haven't really told this
Oh,
part
you're
of it.
good, man. I like
Go
hearing about
ahead,
this.
man. It's your world
That's
right
what
now,
we're here
man.
for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
my last match there, I got messed up pretty bad. It was a freak accident. I got hit with a package pile driver. Messed up my pretty bad, and it took me about a year to finally recover. But I got a good doctor, got a good chiropractor. I feel taller. I'm like basically my didn't have a broken neck. It wasn't like that, but like the space between your vertebrae, it's supposed to be like this much. We'll say it was that much. So I was right on the line to needing some surgery or something. But
Right.
got some work done, and so that if anyone's wondering where I've been the past year or so, that's where I never quit wrestling. I'm still wrestling every weekend, but when you're wrestling top level and against TV guys, there's some things that are gonna happen. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah, so
most definitely.
sorry, but yeah, the Netflix thing I don't know how it happened, like how we got the call, how they all got it all connected, but definitely once they started filming, I made sure like I moved to like the house they show in the documentary with Shira
Yeah.
and Crixus, Joe Mack. I was in the basement. I was there. I was sleeping. I didn't realize that there was cameras there. Otherwise,
You would have been
but
out
no,
there too, right?
yeah. But like no, I was there. I was doing the same grind as them, and there was I made sure I was on every show that there was the Netflix. I was on every show during that tour. I was at every single TV, and so I got to see that whole process as it grew, and it was cool.
Man, I definitely was into it like that too, man, because I seen you in some of the most pivotal parts of the series too. Like, I respected it a lot too for the people that allowed it to happen. Like when the guy got caught up with his kid and couldn't see his kid, and
Mhm.
then like the session where the guy ended up having a seizure in front of everybody, and
I wa-
he kind of opened up
I
right there.
I was the guy that was as soon as that happened, I ran out to the road there, and I'm
Yeah,
just trying to get
the ambulance.
the ambulance's attention, and so like
Right.
I a lot of my experience with that Netflix thing was Mike. I call myself Mike Mazowski. Monsters Inc. Like he's on there, but there's a sticker right here. Like it, almost all those big moments, I'm there. They don't show me doing anything, but I mean that's okay. But like I'm there. Even the
No.
thumbnail, you get on Netflix, you see cash flow, big old Bigfoot,
Right. Yeah,
holding
it's big cash flow holding it up.
Yeah.
who's he holding up? You can't see his face.
Is that you?
I'm,
Man, I was so wondering, like, who is this dude he just
Wait a
threw? You know
minute.
what I'm
You
saying?
know
Like he
what?
just
You
I'm the
know what?
thumbnail.
At
Yeah.
the end of episode 1 or 2, that's him dropping you, isn't
that's him
Yep.
right. He the second
One.
episode. Like they kind of took all the series, like all the
it?
people, and kind of
You're
broke them
like at
down.
the
Cass
end
was like the second
they
one, yeah.
show him at the end of the episode that and then he drops you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So.
the same clip they had in the beginning for his
Mhm.
intro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
I guess
dope.
my big moment, like my real moment, like there's a lot of that stuff I'm adjacent to. My 15 seconds of fame there was the I ripped the turnbuckle
I
off.
was
Yeah.
gonna get to that. So did you
Hey, you ripped the
happen to get
turnbuckle
any
off. They said, "Oh
repercussions
Lord, here we
from that?
go."
What
Did
you sorry was
did you
what
happen to get any repercussions from that? Were they upset? Were
they were upset, yeah,
Yeah,
but
they was mad.
it was one of those happy accident things because like they could tell. I think they could tell in the moment that it was going to make for a good documentary. Because they all had to scramble around, figure out how to do that, this, that, and the other thing. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna, backstage baseball. That wasn't the plan. I was apparently that's not what I was supposed to do. But when you're going out there being natural, like I'm
But
angry.
also maybe have a backup on hand just in case
I mean,
something
you would
happens,
figure they have a backup.
They just
Exactly.
This is
they want
OVW we're talking about.
yeah. Well, that's let's just say that's one of the proudest items in my collection that I have now. Like my own personal memorabilia. I kicked this turnbuckle's ass. That's what I say.
I mean,
Hey, he definitely
and
did.
you gave them a reason to have a lot of drama in that Haley match. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, it really amped up the
Stay
drama
away
for.
from the, stay away from the, stay away from
Stay
the
away,
turnbuckle. Stay
keep
away
her
from the
away
turnbuckle.
from the corner.
I'm like,
Oh,
look
Hey,
at, I'm like, look
I
at Big
can't
Whiskey
see
in here,
what's
coming
going
in here
on.
off the
I can't
whiskey,
hear. I can't
tearing the
see.
place up.
Keep her
yeah,
away from the corner. I can't see what's going on out there. It was
yeah,
great. Good job.
yeah, you know,
Yeah,
I did my best.
Mike Wazowski.
we clapped for you right there when that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
We
you, thank you.
definitely seen that.
I really want to get a
Uh,
picture of like one of the T-shirt ideas I had was like I think Mike Jones or Matt Jones, just him, just like that, and then it says like, and it had the guy in the crowd going, he kicked that turnbuckle's ass. Like I thought that was perfect. Like yeah.
so we got a little bit of fan, you know what I mean, fan questions before the show.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, get it out the way. We was told to ask about CFW
Oh,
wrestling in the ring against Ace Main Man, the Buck
the
Sexton.
oh
the
gosh, yeah, that was a that was one of those wildest moments of like the indies. Like we were at I think it was a fundraiser for the baseball team. The promoter is really well connected, great guy. Guy is his name, Guy Lombardo. Great guy. It was a show that any other time probably should have been canceled because of all the rain, and it was an out or the rings just sitting there on the baseball diamond. But this is indie wrestling, so we don't cancel shows. What are we doing here? So
Like
we
we here already,
yeah.
That's the shirt right there. This is indie wrestling.
Oh yeah,
You know
man.
what I
We don't cancel.
yeah, it was that was a blast. That was early in my career too. I think it was Buck's like second, maybe third match. Um
Sweet.
we're just I don't think any of this was planned. This was just like us riffing. We were brawling on the outside and I'm running back and forth and getting, breaking the count. But we're I this is how I remember it. I don't know if this is exactly how it went, but it was how I remember it is we brawled to first, we're brawling out of the ring. We brawled to first base. I'm kicking his butt from first base to second base. I'm kicking his butt from second base to third base. And then I look over and there's a big old puddle right on home plate. So I just Irish whip, whee, send him on flying. That dude made the biggest cannonball right on home plate. Slid him home. And then of course the Jeff Hardy and me. So I climbed the cage and did a big old flying crossbody on him too. So I got just
Oh
as
my
wet. I
Jesus.
landed right in the puddle. Yeah, that
Look,
was
it
a
was a rainy
blast.
day that day, huh? It was raining bodies,
Yeah.
You
raining
said
elbows.
cage?
The behind the home plate, they got the ball,
Yeah,
they
they
got.
got the
the
batter
backside,
cage when
man.
it hit the ball, hit the cage. Yeah.
Yeah,
If we're gonna have a show at a baseball diamond, somebody's got to jump off that, and I
you got
volunteer.
to.
I got you. Yeah, that's one of my
So
favorite things to do at indie shows. You just if it has something unique about the venue, I'm using it. Like I've jumped off of basketball hoops. I've jumped off of scaffolding. But if it's there, I'm gonna use it.
so me personally, like I said, I love the character because I feel like it's you more of a sense with a little bit more energy as far as physically. You know what I mean? Uh the big whiskey name, like what made you even, feel like that was it's a hit. I'm not gonna lie. If when you say big whiskey, it got a ring to it. You know what I mean? So like what made you just feel like that was the one?
Um,
Or you could blame it on the whiskey. We could, Jamie
there's a
Foxx
lot
it and blame it
of
on the whiskey.
there's a lot of factors to this because just to get a little deep with you here, like wrestling, like I kind of feel wrestling is best when it's musical almost. Like there's a
Right.
beat, like punch, 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 bam. Like but what I'm talking about. It's not just
Oh
punch,
The
yeah.
punch,
dance.
punch,
Yeah.
bam. Like the crowd gets it better. There's better movement, and like where when there's almost like a rhythm to it, and Jared Kripke, it's okay, whiskey, 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 that is a little bit better there.
Right. Quick
Then
to the point.
yeah, and then there's a thing called Babyface Fire. A guy that looks like Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, the guys that look like me. The things that they're known best for is that fire. Like
Right.
Japanese wrestling. They get punched in the face, and you're just, it's like that fire. Well, the whiskey, it's pretty. There's a lot of fire and fire in your mouth.
Most
Fire in that
definitely.
whiskey.
Yeah,
Especially if you're drinking Fireball, that's nothing but gasoline.
yeah. And then of course, like
Shout out to B-Man.
yeah, to get less deep with it, it's like what I was saying. Like, who is Jared Kripke? Well, we call him Big Whiskey because he's the kind of guy we want to drink with. You don't, and you want him on your side in a bar fight, or you don't want to be against him. So that was kind of the and then the biggest moments of my career so far, not the biggest, but a lot of the biggest moments of my career have been in Kentucky. I've been in Tennessee. I've been in bourbon country, the bourbon trail.
Right.
Got to get some whiskey in there.
All
Yeah.
right. So we done served up the dream match. Man, you done gave us hell of stories and things that I'm definitely gonna be happy to look back on. But now it's to the fun and games, right?
Well,
Rapid fire Q&A. Uh First thing that comes to mind. Ace, you want to hit the first question?
Oh no, I want to see how you guys are gonna play this.
Okay,
I want
so
to see where we're gonna take it.
favorite match you ever wrestled?
Against Austin Fury. It was our debut show. It was our debut in
Nice.
gosh, I think it was, oh no, CTW, I think is what it was. CTW. It was up in like Hobart area.
Okay.
Nobody knew who either of us were. We had literally the match of the year. I got the plaque still in my room. Like, match of the year, our first time at a company. Nobody knew who he was, and they walked away knowing who we were. Like, that was probably my favorite match of my career. Like indie wrestling wise.
Okay.
My favorite.
Craziest thing a fan ever said to you.
Oh, I had this one. What was it? Oh gosh, I was just thinking about this week. I mean, I guess the craziest thing that you just aren't expecting is like slurs. You know, I got like I'm most of the companies I wrestle for are mostly family friendly. For the most
Right.
part. So I'm out there doing my thing, and all of a sudden I'm getting called an F word, and all right, brother, you're getting it. And dude, that fan, I about made him cry. Like I had to like the next show I went, and even though he called me a slur, I went up to him, and I had to apologize because I made him like, he looked like a turtle, dude. After I like you could
Turtle. Hey, look, he turned into a turtle.
yeah,
Look.
so you can fill in whatever word you want to use there, but dude, just know if you're gonna come at me with something sideways, I'm hitting you back. And
Facts.
yeah, he literally had to get a different colored toupee after that. Let's just say that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I bet he won't drop no more slurs than nobody else.
No, he
Uh
learned.
Go
Okay,
to
so
drink
I got
after.
one
Oh,
for
go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
Other than getting kicked in the nuts by the little kid, has there ever been any other times where you're just out doing crowd work and somebody touches you or somebody tries to assault you like that?
Yeah, I was in Illinois doing a show, and I get put over the top rope. I'm running away. I can't exactly remember. I jump over the barricade, and the second both my feet got over the barricade, this man in the front row pushes me in my shoulders and spits right in my face. Like, and if I was in a different mood that day, that could have gone different. I thought that was the funniest thing ever, because it was like, ha ha, I got you. You're booing me. It's like, it was one of those, like, it's like a wrestler badge of honor.
Oh yeah.
Like in a different day, I would have been they may have needed security, but that day, dude, I was like, it was my debut in that company, and I'm already getting sped on. All right, yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
funny.
that's legit heat day one.
So I
Mm-hmm.
got
Right.
a serious question, and it's a serious one, and this is as a fan, right? I'll be honest. Um, do you see yourself, or how does it feel now to be the opposite end? To know that you're one of these people, you're that people look at like, wow, that guy can really wrestle. Wow, he has a name for him. You are Big Whiskey, the WPW Heavyweight Champion. Like, you are the guy now, right? Like, you have these credentials underneath yourself, right? And I've been checking you out all week, and I've becoming an even bigger fan of all of the things you've accomplished, right? And then hearing you talk now and hearing some of the
Yeah.
things you've done and watching you on wrestlers, and then you got Queen of the Ring coming up.
Oh,
How
we didn't
does it?
talk about that yet. Dang. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so how does it feel now knowing that you're the man?
I mean,
And then
like,
take us in, and then take us into that Queen of the Ring too, because we want to know.
yeah, I don't know, like there is a lot of pressure there because like I can't really have a lazy day. Like, I can't like if I even if I no matter how much I have going on throughout the week with my family, financially, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like my either my opponent is really excited, the fans are really excited, the promoter is really excited, or I mean, like we all are. So it's not like I can have a lazy day or just a generic match. I try to have a Kripke match every time. So there's a lot of pressure there, and then but also ultimately it's like fulfilling. Like I started this out thinking, all right, this is something for my bucket list. Hey, look, this one time I was a pro wrestler. Oh, this one time I won a title, and then I just kind of kept building and building and building. So now for it to be like, this has been a career. This has been like my identity for better or worse the past 10 years. Like it's just validating, fulfilling, I guess is I find fulfillment like this past weekend. I was this guy named Tyler Cannon. Amazing guy. It was his debut match. He's been training for a year. To the pressure that he put on himself before the match because it was against me and it was main event. It was for a title and BMFX. It was like daunting because I want to live up to his expectations, and then I also there's the pressure of I have to have a me level match against somebody that's it's his first match ever, and
Right.
then like it's just so valid. Like that was one of the most fulfilling things I've gotten to do. And that's another match you should check out. It was a great, great, great match. Probably the best indie wrestling debut match I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying it because I was in it. Like it
What's
was
the guy's name again?
Tyler Cannon. You
Tyler
know
Cannon. I'll definitely go back and watch that for
that
sure.
that was just
To hear you say that, man, you was giving kudos to production wise. Us as a crew over here, we all come together, you
Mhm.
know, and do what we can, when we need to for each other. And they always giving me kudos on, the things that we done accomplished and what we done came to, And I kind of shrug it off, and I tell them, I'm like, we might have not had that moment yet. You know what I'm saying? But to hear you say that, it kind of make me think about stuff like that because, to hear somebody come validate you, that's pretty much a validation, coming to get Big Whiskey to usher them into the game, pretty
Mhm.
much. And I definitely see that in you, and it's a blessing that you was able to receive that way as well.
And then that's now it's just gonna get even bigger and bigger with March 7th, Queen of the Ring comes on out and the world gets to see a bunch of OVW wrestlers. some AEW wrestlers. I think, oh gosh, Jim Cornette. You
Yeah,
know,
I was finna say, man, I'm mad on the names are just slipping because they was right there on my tongue. Like
yeah,
it's a mixture of everybody though. I like it. I like
yeah.
it.
Emily Bett Rickards. Like I knew her from Arrow because I'm a big comic book nerd. You know,
Yeah.
I I've literally wrestled as Spider-Man probably 4 or 5, 6 times. You know, so like unmasked. So like it was a big comic book fan. So when I saw the movie had Emily Bett Rickards in it, I knew it was gonna be. It wasn't just gonna be a Lifetime movie. It was gonna be a big one. And then Josh Lucas from I knew him from Sweet Home Alabama. Walton Goggins from I knew him from Ant-Man, but he's from everything. So
Right.
like to get to I got to share a scene with the two leads, you know, Josh and Emily, and you know I play Gypsy Jon, you know, not
Gypsy
necessarily
Johnny. Yeah, I said Joe. My fault at the beginning. I said
Gypsy
Gypsy
Joe's.
Joe.
Yeah, he's a little more modern, you know. So this is the 1930s, 1940s, you know. So
Right.
I play a carny. I'm a carny. Yeah, that's where wrestling started, man. You know, so
Right.
I feel like I got to being such a wrestling history nerd. This movie is one of the most fulfilling things ever. I have gotten to see it back in October when they were showing it to critics and stuff. I got to do be at the red carpet and do some Q&A stuff.
So my
Sweet.
question is: this acting role
Yep.
or
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm literally I'm SAG eligible now. Like you know um this is a legit movie. It's a SAG film, you know. So if that means anything, you know, to the movie industry people, that you know,
Can can we can
This
we
guy right here, he know
I'm
can
what
we
he
get
literally
some
talking
hand
about.
claps?
He playing like he
Can we
don't know
get
what you're saying,
can we
but he
get some
know what you're
hand
saying.
claps for my man? I got it.
literally a
That
SAG eligible actor.
clap
Yeah,
for me.
I
Yeah.
got
We
Clap
I
got
got
two
for
actors too, man. I'm gonna keep the claps going, y'all. We interviewing one, but we got another one down there too, y'all. So yeah,
that is
for
that is
sure, for
awesome.
sure.
I
So
appreciate you making
I
me, you
mean
know.
I got to one more question that I've been dying to ask. It's another serious one. I mean, it's just because I'm fanned out right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of my favorite wrestlers, so I'm fanned out right now, and I got to know. I see you every time you wrestle. Ever from the first time I've seen you, you're big in crowd interaction. From the time you come out, um, uh, I don't whether you're being a heel and yelling clap for me and not liking what you're drinking, or whether you have the belt as I got playing right now, you against Tyler Cannon. I was peeping it out when you said it. I got it going, but even you coming out with the belt
Icon
and
wrestling. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
you know and letting the kids see the belt and touch the belt, and then even in your matches, you bring your matches every time I've seen you. You bring your matches outside the ring,
Yeah.
right? Is that by design, or do you
Um,
just end up outside the ring? But I love that. I love the fact that you interact with the crowd and the fans. However, you always end up outside the ring. Is that by design, or is this you
it's
just down to wrestle wherever?
yeah, that's one of those things. It's not like, you know, that part is usually not planned at all. It's just you know, it seems like the natural thing to do. Like I just took a really big move. I don't want to get pinned, so I'm gonna roll on out, you know. Oh, he comes to meet me. Oh, I'm punching him first, you know. Like
Right.
it seems to be like the thing that makes sense. But yeah, there in Kentucky, you know, where I worked for probably four years solid, you're not allowed to go past the barricade. Yeah, like the barricade, you have to have a barricade set up around the ring, and as a wrestler, anybody that's involved in the show is not allowed to go over the barricade. It can give big fines, you know, shut down a show kind of stuff. You know, if the state's there. So now that I'm wrestling more in Indiana, it's kind of like a treat to me, you know, okay,
Mm,
watch what I can do, Kentucky wrestlers, haha, you know.
mm.
You know, it's a little bit of funny. But if to the kid that's in the front row, them helping me up, that's
That's
gonna that
everything to them.
yeah, they're gonna
Right.
remember that more than they're gonna remember me getting power bombed or, me hitting a backstabber. They're gonna remember I helped him up and then he went and won, or if I look at that kid and like I forget I think it was one of the Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express, their Hall of Fame speech. They talked about how they would make eye contact with one kid in the front row, and every single time they were getting punched, oh, they'd turn and look at that one kid. They bounce off the mat. Oh, they're getting choked. They're reaching for
Like
that kid.
reaching out for that kid.
And I just kind of take it to that next level, and I get literally in their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That- It works. It
yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It,
Most
it
definitely.
it works. I told you the first time I seen you happened to be in person. The first time I got to see you like in person.
Hmm.
Last year, I came to 3 WPW events,
Mhm.
right? Um, Unfortunately, look, it thumbed up. Unfortunately, I was invited by Buck Sexton.
It's the Buck Sexton.
Boo. Boo Sexton? That guy? Yeah, him.
He invited me to come watch him win. What kind of guy does that, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Uh,
got there
uh, uh, uh,
all three times.
Richard.
All three times I got to see you wrestle. All three times you put on a hell of a match. And I left there impressed. And
Yeah.
you left me feeling like I was at it wasn't the indie match.
Mhm.
I didn't get the
Darn right.
indie match feel. I was like, holy shit, did you see? Did they wrestle their asses off? Right.
Right.
I actually, right, was excited that somebody my size was in there kicking ass. Right.
Hmm.
One, right. But for two, I was actually happy that somebody my size was taking that kind of ass kicking and I didn't have to wake up with the pain the next day. But you was eating that shit. And I was like, yeah, I'd eat that shit too. See, skinny people got power too. You know what I'm saying? Ace.
Right. No, like you made a
Uh,
good point though, man. Like I was TV trained with under Al Snow, Doug Basham, Amazing Maria, Josh
mhm.
Ashcraft, Southern Discomfort. Like I got to learn from some of the best in TV wrestling and people that have been where I want. You want to learn from people that have been where you want to be.
Yeah.
So Al Snow has been everywhere. Doug Basham's been on everywhere. WWE, TNA. They know what TV wrestling looks like, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I can go to an indie show and watch the same watch a card, and it's basically the same match, 5 times. Well, that's an indie show. I want our indie match. I want to have a TV style match. Most of the time, I try to have a TV style match on an indie. I'll work towards the heart. I'll work towards the camera as if it's TV, that kind of stuff, and then that makes a difference. Like you were saying, you could tell that it was, like this is some. This isn't an indie show. This is our indie match. This is
Right.
Yeah.
I
This
try
is
to
a
make.
wrestling match.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. These guys is going
Y'all
at it.
putting in that work, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I like I said, man, it's always a super blessing to be able to watch something like that. Knowing it's coming up from Indy. Of course, we all know that's where the fame starts. But to have a ring early on in your, later on in the career, getting the stuff that you deserve, you feel like, you know what I mean? As
Mhm.
far as titles go and everything, man. Like to get to know you, to see all this, super, super cool. You know what I mean? And we hope that we can be able to even not only be in an event, but keep supporting you as well, man, and
Definitely.
everybody else.
Definitely.
Ace, if you got something you want to holler at him about, you got something before we let him go?
I mean, I don't really necessarily have something for Big Whiskey, but I do have something for the fans.
What's
You know,
that?
it's not that hard to just not be a dick. And what you do is you follow, you like, you subscribe, you follow Big Whiskey Jared Kripke, you follow Victoria's Skyconic Wrestling YouTube
That's right.
page, you follow us, and by doing that, it costs $0. It takes zero amount of time, and we appreciate you not being a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Please.
Oh,
Man, Big Whiskey, it's definitely been a pleasure, bro. You know, like I said, we hope to have you back in the house again. And we definitely gonna be, you never know, man. We might be calling a few of your matches here in the future, man. Please believe it.
good.
Looking
Uh
forward to hopefully being able to do that. What? Because
yeah.
anytime I can see Big Whiskey in the ring, is I got you playing right now. I hope you kick Tyler Cannon ass because he was doing some old. I don't like seeing Whiskey get beat up, man. That's my guy, man. But you know,
Hey,
hey, there's some good wrestlers out there, but Big
yeah.
Whiskey can handle it. My man, just want to say thanks for coming on the show. We will definitely see you again. We're going to see you big time. You're big time already. You know,
Yeah.
the what's it called? The
Gypsy Jon, Queen of
Gypsy
the
Jon,
Ring.
Queen of the
March is
Ring,
dropping
Gypsy
March, right?
Jon. I
March
only call
7th.
almost called
March
him
7th.
Gypsy Jon.
Yeah.
I
Gypsy
want to see the
Jon.
movie.
I gotta
Yeah.
see. I got a lot of names. I'm, Big Whiskey. I'm OVW's top shelf talent, as seen on Netflix. Soon to be the silver screen king of the ring.
Come on now.
Jared Kripke.
Hey
Clap
man.
for me. Clap for me. Clap for me.
All
Hey
right, buy
man.
a shirt.
Man, y'all keep tipping them flask up and keep hitting that notification button too on the channel, man. Go follow Jared Kripke, the description in the show. It'll give you all that information. And if y'all want to donate to the channel, it got it down there as well. And we're gonna be trading merch too, man. You see, we got the merch, man. I'm gonna be sending you something. So make sure you send your address and we can send you a shirt over there, size and all. You and the wifey as well.
Yep.
All right.
Shout out to WPW Warrior Pro Wrestling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all tune
OVW,
in.
all of
That's
y'all,
where y'all
man.
can see Big Whiskey, my man, John Kripke. You know, Throw the Towel Sports
Jared
Podcast.
Kripke, not
John.
John.
Gypsy
Look,
Yeah,
Jon.
he done mixed
I'm
Gypsy
Gypsy.
Jon
It was
with
Gypsy
he done
Joe
mixed it
that
up.
got me all messed up. It was I'm blaming Gypsy Joe over here.
Look, pull the helicopter away from his room, man. He over
Yeah,
there
Yeah,
do
chopping it
something.
up.
we got too
It's
many.
too.
You guys weren't supposed to pregame. Yes, that's
Hey, they said Whiskey was coming on. I couldn't help it, my man. Throw the Towel
Hey,
Sports
man.
Podcast.
Yes,
Protect
sir.
Yep.
yourself at all times. And please,
Please.
don't have us throw the towel in on your ass.
Mhm.
On the top.
Throw